invited back to the panel, and I'm going to do it in reverse order this time. I'm going to ask Dave to speak first and go back through the speakers. A few minutes, I suppose, each. So
like Corey, I am going to be brief.
You don't have to be too brief. You know,
It's brief and fun.
And answer some of the questions that were asked if I can. The point that was made about neutrality, I suppose, the narrow definition that the Irish government have of neutrality was well argued by a friend from the Socialist Party, I think, who argued that point very well. But there are a number of things in the treaty, I just want to go through them very quickly, that affect our neutrality. And again, as I said earlier, the devil is in the detail, you know, and we do have to simplify it and make it easy for people to understand. But what we have to do is keep to the treaty itself and what exactly is in the treaty. In terms of neutrality or militarisation, because really it's the militarisation of Europe. One of the things that is firmly in the treaty is that all member states are being asked to enhance or increase their military capabilities. And again, it's back to this language. What does that mean, enhance your military capabilities? It means spending more money on the military. That's what it's going to mean, more money being spent on the military at a time when we have NAMA, when we have cuts in education, cuts in health services, increased taxes, a country almost bankrupt, but spend more money on the military. Some of the things that are also in the treaty, it sets out a common foreign and defence policy, alliances with NATO. It allows for the emergence of many military alliances with member states. It creates the post of a foreign minister. Again, this person will be unelected. And it is more than about where Irish troops are going to be sent. It's about the alliances that we make within Europe. It's about then where the military forces of Europe, and there will be a European army, because Pádraig is right, we're moving towards a European superstate. That's the simplest way we could describe this. It is a political and economic union where we're moving towards a European superstate. It has a parliament, it has a bank, it has a currency, it will have a president, it will have a foreign minister, and it will have an army. And that's the way the whole project is going. And it's happening incrementally. And it's also happening dishonestly, because the government will tell us there is no threat to neutrality. While all the time this is happening, it's creeping centralisation of power, and it's pulling the wool over the people's eyes every time. Every passing treaty, we're ceding more power, we're creating more big institutions within Europe which are unaccountable and anti-democratic, and that's it in a nutshell. That's where it's going. And one of the obvious things, but saddest things about all of this, and was the words of this gentleman here, that ordinary people are lost. And that's it. Because ordinary people are lost because it is so confusing, and it is so cloak and dagger, it is so clandestine, and then the treaties are so complicated. As I said earlier, you need to review and revise and go back through all the other previous treaties to have an understanding of this existing treaty, and they're blinding people with all this stuff. And you know, one of the dangerous elements that is creeping into the debate at the moment is government representatives are saying, and Martin Manager has said it, and other ministers have said it, that these treaties are a bit too complicated to put the people in the first place, that maybe it's best in national parliaments if we allow our politicians to make decisions for us. That's what they're now saying, that they recognise that actually people can start to cut through all of the spin and start to understand all of these things, and they just want to diminish your opportunity to have your say. And I'll finish up on this point, because the lady at the back made a very important contribution around people's morale and how people can be affected by, we vote no, we have a little win, we think we have a win, and as Pádraig said, it's once the European elite take one step back, they regroup, and they will continue, and they will continue. And we cannot allow ourselves to be browbeaten. It's as simple as that. If we allow ourselves to be browbeaten, if we roll over, then all of the stuff that we're talking about will happen. And we have to remain confident in our position. If we keep saying no, if we keep throwing it back at them, then we can force them to do something else. Because it's about what we want to see, and certainly what the panel here want to see, is a people's Europe. At the moment, we have a politician's Europe. We have a Europe that's being dictated by a political elite who want to drive forward the kind of architects of all these treaties that Pádraig spoke about, that have a different agenda. We'll keep forcing this through. But if we allow ourselves to think that none of this can be defeated, that it's hopeless, then I think that we're in big trouble. And the most important thing, because there was 3 people from Germany here tonight who made the same point, why did the people of Germany not have a vote? Because the German constitution is such that when treaties are passed, it doesn't have to be measured against our constitution. They don't have to have a referendum. And let's be very clear about this, because in this treaty, with the self-amending clauses, if we pass this treaty, we may not have a chance to have a voice or a say in the future. And that's one of the most important messages that we can sell to people, because we should be able to hold people to account, and we should be able to pass judgment on important treaties. And if we pass this treaty, we give that right away, and we should not give that right away. And I think we need to continue to work towards that people's Europe, and tell the politicians and the political elite that we're not going to take their agenda, that we are going to fight back, we will fight back, and we will be part of a broader alliance in Europe, because it's the peoples of Europe which are more important than the politicians. And if the peoples of Europe and all those progressive political parties, the trade union movement and the community and voluntary sector work together, I think that we can reverse a lot of what's happening in Europe at the moment.